I had thoughts.
Here we are, live again to talk about everyone's favorite doll, Chucky. Again, we're covering season 2. We're back. This is the third episode in season 2 called Hail Mary. And to join us for this episode, we have the lovely Marcus back with us again for another fierce episode.
How y'all doing? It's been fun chatting with y'all. Good to see y'all too. I love seeing y'all's faces. When I wake up in the morning, I see y'all post. I'm like, thank God we're still here.
Still drinking and TikToking somewhere. Yeah, but so Chucky got into it last night, and then Chucky got into it again. Chucky was falling in on Chucky, so we got a lot to talk about.
Yeah, shall we just get into it? Let's just get into it, y'all. Mark, what's one of your first thoughts?
By the end of the episode, I could clearly see that the whole thing was the process of guilt and how it affects everybody around you, as they said in the episode. But it's also was about how you deal with that guilt, whether you do it, what's the word I'm looking for? Whether you do it healthily, I don't know, that's not a word, but
yeah,
in a healthful manner, or if you don't, if you take a destructive path with it. And then there's also that people around you, the double edge of that sword is people can use your guilt against you.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. We're seeing that with Jake and Devin, because like I was definitely team Devin. I was like, let's kill the doll. We know what the doll does. And Jake is like, no, let's brainwash and try this other shenanigans. And of course, Twitter is with Jake because Twitter got biases we don't talk about.
I mean, I see both sides because, like, okay, this ain't the only Chucky. This ain't the only Chucky. They hold on. They established in the last episode that he's a scout, and at any time when you're in war and you capture a scout, you try to get information from them. You don't just automatically kill them. So I get both sides, but I totally see Devin's side.
That's true, unless you're dealing with Chuckies, because you're assuming that they're gonna kill you when all the other Chuckies have tried. They lucked out. I'll say that right here, right now.
They played him the right episode of My Little Pony, and it was great.
Listen, so I was team Devin. I was like, Devin, you might have to leave your friends and your boyfriend if they can't get on the same wagon, because like we need to kill this doll. What?
I was on Devin's side too, because Chucky's manipulative as fuck. He can sit there and make you like. Plus, these are kids we're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? It's like you can't take any chances. However, when you got a taste of good Chucky or something like that, I was like Nadine. Oh,
okay. I got thoughts about our girl Nadine because I like her as a character. She's a fun character. I don't trust. Granted, I don't trust any of these new characters. I don't trust none of them. But this episode was the first time I was like, Nadine, number one, why are you picking up the beads outside that confession box?
She's a klepto.
But like, you didn't think where the beads came from?
This child is still childing. And we is not here for childing. This is the Chucky universe. Mm-hmm. Hi, Alma.
Hey, Alma. Good Chucky. Yes, I agree. I love good Chucky. No. But I don't know.
Nadine grew on me this episode because she had such random and wild shit to say. Because like I didn't trust her. I didn't believe in her. But I'm like, you know what? If we can keep you a little bit longer, that's fine. But also, Chucky will run through a bitch. So like, can't get too attached ever.
Yeah. It does track that the episode that I'm like, I don't know about Nadine is the episode like Sheray's like, I'm jumping on Nadine. I'm team Nadine. Hashtag.
I will say this about her though. It was two things. One, I feel like if she had not have gotten an intervention, and by that being sent to that school, she probably would have ended up being a Chucky acolyte later on in life, because she just seems like she's with the shits.
But is she not? She still could be.
She still could be, because she's like, you don't know where to put her. One minute she's enduring. I want to be your friend. I want to help you. Then she in the confessional box telling everybody's business. I was like,
listen,
Put it all out there.
You can't trust these hoes in this school. Like,
and the fact that she sat there was like, yo, I have a confession. Like, no, you want to gossip. That's what you want to do. And the only person who will sit there and hear your mess is Father O'Malley. Bless his soul.
Right. Because she wasn't confessing anything she did. She was like, my roommate is on drugs. These two gays up in the house. They got a dog trying to kill me. Like, that had nothing to do with you.
She was like, XOXO, gossip girl.
Gossip girl, exactly.
Nadine.
Exactly. I was like, that's the new gossip girl right there at the school. And I think Father O'Malley, he just knew she was gonna come with the shit. He was like, look, I don't want to know about y'all's issues. But he sat there, said that prayer on site when he saw her. I was like, oh, she's on a whole other level of fuckery. He's done with it.
When he put out the flask in the confessional, I was like, that's my father. That's
I'll go to his church.
Right.
Child.
Yeah. No. Like, she wrote in with everybody's secrets and was like, gossip. I got gossip.
Right. But okay, so we gotta talk about Trevor, because I mean we can't talk about him no more after this. I was like, wow, that death was everything. I was shocked. He only lasted 3 episodes. I was expecting him to kind of be the junior of the season, the one that was kind of like the antagonist child, you know? Okay. But nope. He's gone.
Yeah. I never cheered so hard since Joffrey died on, spoiler alert for those who haven't seen it, but I'm just saying, you know.
It's been a minute.
That death was justifiable. Listen, that character was so hated that the actor stopped acting. He was like, you know what?
Poor kid. I feel bad for him. But especially knowing who did it, I'm just saying. Tell her it was me.
Listen.
Oh my God. It's funny. But it's, to me, I was mad because they were like, let's hide the body. No, let the whole school see that the bully has been taken out. Let them sit there and have a good day. I mean, like, everybody sit there like, oh, thank God he's out.
Well, why were they so scared? Like, I would have just said, hey, y'all, somebody's been murdered. Hello.
Listen, if you open the door screaming, you can't be implicated. Because now they move the body, so the evidence is everywhere. And they already blew up a kid as far as the society knows. Nobody's like, oh, yeah, killer dolls, kids. Ha, ha, ha. They got too many people touching too many things. But also, the way Nadine shoved Jake and Devin into the closet. That's the second time they were shoved into the closet this season. I'm counting.
And you know what? I didn't pick it up, Sharai, until you said that. Like, back in the closet for you too. Boom. Right? But they was already outed by then, technically, because
he was not too unafraid to watch that little kiss happen.
He was not.
Now, I hope they don't go that route. But unless it's like, I don't want to go that other route. You know what I'm talking about. The priest and no. I don't want to do that. That's too much. We got killer dolls. Let's just worry about that. Killer dolls and drug addicted children.
Right? Let Chucky run through some more people's chest cavities. And
yeah. Ooh. But yeah, I don't understand. I would have just been like, hey, y'all, he's dead. Help. He's dead. But also, they have trust issues. Granted.
True.
Understandably.
True.
Yes. Let's talk about Father Sawa for a second. I know he's got a name, but we didn't figure
Father
that out.
Father Sexy is his name.
Father Sexy Sawa. Yes, FSS. Let's talk about him and his shenanigans, because he's talking to the black nun who we all want to see survive. And talking about
yes, her name is Sister Catherine. I had to look that up today.
Yeah,
sure I had it right.
Love it. Thank you. Give all black characters names, because we don't get that often enough. Look at lots of movies and TV shows. But Sister Catherine, he said something sideways to her, and I was like, "What's her story? What's her
exactly?"
Tale?
I have that note. I said, okay, because he says, what I don't think he's talking to her. He's talking to Jake, and he's like, ask Sister Catherine about other people's sins hurting other people. And I'm like, so was someone else's sin hurting her, or did she do something to hurt someone else?
Right.
But she was in the room, so it was very Mean Girls. And like he was still said to her, it was like, you about to catch a stray to your face. And I was like, Father Sawa. Father Sawa.
Yes, but I was like, what? So I think she clearly has something. She has more going on with her than that other white nun does.
Right.
Because she's been actively trying to help Jake and Devin. She cares about them, obviously. The art history of her, that line. There's something. Was she in the cult?
Oh.
Did she leave it?
Oh, that's a good question. I had actually went to like her being like a lesbian, and I was like, let me find out we get another damn black LGBT character in the show. Let me find out. But I was like, but I'm just so, like y'all said, I'm so nervous about her because we know where the other nun who announced that she was also the what you call it, she was the school nurse, and she taught shop, which means that she is with the shits. So it's like we know where she's coming from. She's an overachiever. We got that in the first time we met her. But it seems that Sister Catherine is very grounded with the kids. Like she has had her missteps, but she is there for the kids to make sure they don't follow probably her footsteps, like that bond she made with Jake at the end of the class. She said, "Did you like that?" Cause I guess she caught that he was like intrigued by what he just saw and stuff like that. And so she's like, "Okay, I'm reaching him," because I see him.
And in the first episode, she does one of those like general questions to the class, and he's the one that's like, "This is it means the 5 whatevers of Christianity," and I was like, I don't know all that shit, but he did.
I love that because last season he got Chucky because he wanted to do an art project, and so like that little artist is still there. Right. We're not just gonna forget that. It's like it's gonna carry through, and he's gonna bond with his nun who does the art history. But also, like, what junior high does art history? I know that, like, I'm from Missouri and we don't learn there, but
you just needed to go to a private Catholic school, Sharai.
Apparently,
with killer dolls everywhere.
And I'm from the South. It was like a lot of shit. So I get where you're coming from, Sharai, about that because I'm from the South, and with me and Trent both from the South. Sorry, but I'm just from my hometown. When I got to UT Knoxville, there was a couple of teachers like, did they not teach y'all anything in Tennessee? I'm like, look, and these people were asking this from up north. They just come down here to profess and teach, and they don't be realizing that. Just take a day at a small town high school. You'll sit there and realize what they teach down here. But anyway.
Listen, they teach shenanigans and thoughts and prayers, and that's why. That's why I was like, are they learning in this school? Is this a punishment?
Exactly.
So I want to circle back because Nice Chucky was very endearing. We show up because Charles Lee Ray is out of pocket and he says like weird shit to people and talks sideways and like shakes people. But it was kind of nice to see him be a little cutie and eat a little apple.
Yes. So I watched the behind the scenes that came on after the vampire show that comes on after Chucky, and Brad Dourif said that he had a lot of fun playing good Chucky, that it was very odd for him. But the funniest part to me was Fiona talked about
listen,
I would not pay attention. I would pay attention to other things, but I would not be paying attention to what he said.
I would,
especially sweatpants day. I'd be like, oh, he's wearing sweatpants. Child. Exactly.
I'm still confused how they recovered after he showed up in his bathrobe to investigate in episode 2. Because I would still be down. I'd be like, no, I can't recover. Send me to the nurse's office.
Right. But Fiona ended up saying that she found it very weird. She was like, it was good, but it was weird because it sounded like my actual dad. Which I thought was really cute.
I wish I'd have seen that. I'm gonna go look for it.
I bet you can probably find it on YouTube or something, maybe.
Yeah. Like, I hope they put it on like the DVDs and the Blu-rays because like we didn't know that they was gonna like pause it an hour to do the other show. I forgot the name of the other show. I was gonna remember it because it's a brown vampire and I am an asshole. But like after that show on Sci-Fi, they do these little clips. And they used to like follow the show immediately, and so I thought they just weren't doing them.
Yeah,
but they are.
I think they're trying to get us to watch that other show, but
I liked it. It gets a sexy black vampire on there too.
I meant to check it out, but I'm an old, and so by the time Chucky goes off, I'm
Right.
drinking enough to go to sleep.
I might watch it when I can binge it all, like when it's done.
That's sexy. I like that.
Yeah.
I'd be lying about binging now because I'm like, this is more than 2 hours. I ain't got more than 2 hours, and then I wander off. That's why I don't know how a lot of shows end anymore.
I'm right there with you, Sharai. I'm right there with you.
Here's something I picked up last night because I didn't notice that I missed this thing, but I kind of think I do. Do y'all miss the flashbacks of Charles Lee Ray's adventures before, like we used to get in last season?
Yes and no. Yes, because it was, it kind of gave us, it filled in a lot of blanks with the Child's Play mythology and whatnot. And no, because it's so much going on right now. Because I was sitting there thinking, because one of my issues was like, when we're gonna get back to Glenda and Glenn and Tiffany, I want to see what the hell's going on over there. And they didn't even sit there and visit them this week, and I was like, well, it's a lot of shit going on right now here at the school. Right? So
it was like 3/4 in. I was like, well, I've not seen Tiffany and Nika and them at all because like we had so much popping off. And so again, like I do kind of miss it, but I also think that maybe it's for the best to ease up. I use them to like fill in gaps because the Chuckster's been chucking for a hot damn minute, and so it's easy to be like, and then this one more.
I personally don't miss them currently. I think if they don't happen at all, it'll be a choice. But since we're in his home where he grew up, essentially, and they mentioned that in the first episode, I'm like, okay, I'm already getting the tie-ins to Chucky's past. So I think they're going to bring it in later on in the season. So I'm not missing it right now. But if it doesn't happen at all by the end of this season, then I'll be like, that was a missed opportunity.
Very missed.
Especially because, like you said, it's his home. And so, like, we want to know what he did when he was there because we know what he did to get there and we know what he did after. But we don't know what life was like in those hallways.
It showed a little bit of that last season. Like, you see him kill his... that's where he met the guy who he kills in Child's Play 1 and a little things like that. But, like, I would like to see a little more of... Yeah.
And that's why I was like, when they was getting ready to deprogram him and they brought out this stuff, and you noticed that one of the things they brought out was a property of Eddie Caputo, who was the guy he killed in the original Child's Play. And I was like, oh, we're going to get an insight into like something that happened that was there, because I'm like, how the hell do they still have stuff of Eddie Caputo's at school?
Listen.
And not realize that this might be evidence to some shit that went down. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, how did they get that?
eBay.
But yeah, so I think that especially since I think that they're in his actual room.
That's creepy. What if they drop a ball or something? They sit there and find like a hidden stash or something, like, in a kind of like Willow on Buffy season 2 when she found the disc.
Yes, that'd be wild. Or if Chucky, because like we're pretty sure that therapist that was sending them here in episode 1 of this season, we're pretty sure she's in the call. So what if Chucky had somebody leave gifts in his room and had them sent to his room, and we about to get into all that madness?
They sure are sending dolls left and right. They bring up a box, so if it's the right size, I'm like, it's another Chucky.
Exactly. It's like, okay, we lost the other scout. Let's send in another one. Send them in. I'm ready
for the Village People Chucky version. So we've got nice Chucky, we've got bulky Chucky, we've got regular Chucky. Now we need 2 more to be like
that'd be an adorable
drag queen Chucky.
It'd be an adorable YMCA. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It'd be a really adorable YMCA. I'm ready. I would pay for it. Yes.
So I did notice that if IMDb is correct, which could not be, you never know, this will be another 8-season show arc. So next week will be our halfway mark. I'm ready, because right now we're getting a lot of shit, but nothing's really tying. There's not a lot of connective tissue, specifically between wherever the hell Chucky is, Tiffany and Glenn and Glenda, and the kids at the school. The only connection we have is somehow these Chucky dolls just getting UPS to this school left and right.
They're using FedEx.
Overnight.
Overnight. They're
priority.
Listen, that's where Tiffany's money going.
Right.
Exactly. Like that's all of where Jennifer Tilly shit's going. Like, yo, you spending money, you need to go work. Like that shit still has me like crying. Like, yo, you playing too much. We need to get some money in this house. You just went through all this rich woman's money and stuff.
So I'm ready to get some like connective. Right. I'm ready to get some like connective tissue so we can get the wild, like the real like ass stabbing stuff happening.
Listen, I think it's gonna start next week because that clip is like a bound get together with Glenn and Glenda, and I'm like, excuse you.
It's supposed to be a murder mystery party, and there's a dead body.
I haven't even seen the clip for next week. So go into it, please. Let me know, please. Just tell me.
That's all I remember, but that was all I was like.
It's got Gina Gershon and is it Joey Pantoliano? I might be butchering his name. Yeah, but like they're gonna be there, and they're at Jennifer Tilly's house with Tiffany as Jennifer Tilly, and we also are gonna see Glenn and Glenda finally, and so like it's gonna be a good time. And I'm wondering if that's the game is to like sort of stagger it to so we go to the school this episode, Jennifer Tilly's house for a special episode, then back to the school, then back to Jay Tilly until we all meet up in the middle towards the end.
Yeah, I have a feeling the next episode will highly focus on Tiffany and Glenn and Glenda. There may be some, because I mean, our main plot is clearly Jake Devin at the school. So there may be some like bits and pieces in there, but I think they're going to focus on Tiffany and Glenn and Glenda and all that stuff.
I'm good for it to stay there and do the bound episode, the whole 50 minutes. And if it's the kids the week after.
We'll see. I could be wrong, but that's my prediction. I think, and I also think that Tiffany is going to start really wondering where the doll head came from, and she may be the one that hunts down Chucky.
Like she's already shaking him because she came in there and cut her hand. Like that's too much. You could have done less blood, Jay Tilly. But you know what? Who am I? And she was like, "How'd that head get there, Chucky?" And he's like, "Ha ha ha ha." I want to know how it got there too, because like he is in Nika's body and she's taking out of Nika's limbs, and so there's got to be another Chucky in the house. There has to be.
Has to be.
Well, shall see. All right.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
No, I was going to say because we don't know who's sending these Chuckies in, because if it's not Jennifer Tilly, then who is it? And it's kind of freaky that there's another player out there somewhere.
Because
I think it's the Colonel, and I want to know who the Colonel is.
Well, I assume that the Colonel was Buff Chucky. Do y'all not assume that?
Nah, I think the Colonel's somebody else.
Gotcha. I'm scared that because it was a tidbit that was before the premiere aired, there was a tidbit that I missed in the original when I watched Cult of Chucky the first time, and that was that he did end up possessing the little girl, and then she ended up getting killed in the process. So I'm wondering, we know he can possess people now, so who's to sit there and say that he hasn't possessed a lot of people out there that's in powerful positions and stuff? That is because everybody's a suspect.
Everybody's a suspect.
Do we think he's possessed Kyle because we saw her hand at the end of last season, but not her this season?
I think so. And I also think he's. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, or he could have possessed Andy because we haven't seen Andy.
That's what I was about to say. Yeah.
Yeah, or both. Why not both? Have a family reunion.
Interesting. I've got to rewatch those movies. I have not seen the movies in a long time. I got to get back to it.
I saw them last year getting ready for season 1 because I realized I hadn't seen the last 2 movies, and then Sci-Fi played them out of order.
You watched them out of order.
And so I'm still confused. I'm like, wait.
Wait, when did Fiona get into this? Where's with the wheelchair? I'm confused.
Listen, I was watching them like, these are real flashbacks. They didn't just make these. There's another movie, ain't it? And I was like, yep.
That's funny. All right. Do we have any more notes before we get to tops and bottoms?
I just want to say I really think the Colonel is a person. If not like the head Chucky, because we know Jay Tilly killed one Chucky, but there's so many, and he's been popping around for a minute, and so I'm not surprised he might have another body person doll in the wings. Who's the Colonel?
What if it's the bald Chucky?
Oh.
You said the bald one?
Remember from the first episode, there's one of them that's bald.
Yeah. He's probably like, poor Chucky. I'm like, oh, he is having hair.
Oh, before we get to our own tops and bottoms, I have a sad thing to say. Apparently, Twitter took away the verification of what's his name? Plays Andy.
Oh.
They took his shit. I'm gonna find him real quick.
Whoa.
Yeah, I saw his tweet today. He was like, "So much, I'm not Twitter verified anymore."
I wonder how that happened.
Right.
And he says he tried to get it back, and they like refused to let him get verified again.
I mean,
I
to be
what's behind it. Sharai, let's go do our damn.
Listen, I'm gonna go investigate. No, because like usually there's a reason. I know sometimes I do just fuck up and take things away. But sometimes there's a reason, and so I'd like to know more. But at the end of the day, the verification it's not really doing a whole lot. For those of us who aren't famous, I have it. I'm still doing drag girl shenanigans. I've got no money,
but it looks cool.
It looks cool, yeah. And I suppose if you're a real celebrity or you are a real personality, you want people to know it's really you.
Yeah. It's just weird to take it away and they don't know why. Like I would understand, like if I knew why you did it, but anyway, he says he's kind of done with Twitter anyway, so he's going. He says to follow him on Instagram.
He lives on Instagram.
Yeah, that's why
he lives on Instagram. No, but another thought about this Colonel. What if the Colonel is the Chucky inside Nika, who's subconsciously controlling all the other Chuckies still?
That would make so much sense because it would be so unexpected given that we were just introduced to the plot point, and the fact that he could sit there and probably have her go around and make orders and stuff without Tiffany knowing would be the twist. It would be the twist and the biggest fuck you, Tiffany, that they would have between the two of them.
And that would be a good reason for them to be able to get the Tiffany head into her bed too, without her knowing.
Yeah. Like I like that one because I really do think the Colonel is going to be a real person. I think it's going to be
that feels right.
I'm trying to figure out if it's someone we already know or if it's going to like branch out because again, like Mancini loves reaching in and pulling down people from other movies to play other characters.
What if it is Don Mancini?
I would live. I would fucking live. No.
What just turns around.
Sawa, just getting them ready for next season. It's like we keep having two Devins.
Hey, I would be okay with Devin or Dawn. If it's Dawn, I was like, that was a great twist. Now this road
that would be fun. Yeah,
because I have a huge ass crush on Don Mancini, and I didn't realize it.
He's a very good looking man.
Listen. I didn't believe in gyms until I saw him, and I was like, "Well, they do wonders, don't they?"
Yeah, and one last thing about him is just that when I actually did see him in person for the first time, I was like, "Oh."
In person,
and then no, not in person. I mean, I'm sorry. The first time I actually saw him, actually saw him on the internet. I'm like, oh. But then the fact that he was family afterwards, I was like,
if I saw him in person, I'd be like, happy birthday.
Trent, I'll be on the side cheering you on. You better sing, bitch. You better sing that, man. Shit.
Oh, gosh.
Too good. One more thing I just have to say. Lexi, like 3 different people complimented her. She was the third because of course. But like last week I was like, she's smoking all these drugs. Maybe I see the value in her. Then this week she's like, I'm gonna let Chucky wander the hallways and maybe get killed. And I was like, why can't we ever just be friends for 2 weeks in a row?
She was going through withdrawals. I did find it really interesting that they did not like just show the pretty side of her addiction. You know, that's a thing. But you know what I mean? Like, I'm high and I'm fun. Like, they're showing that like she's going through real withdrawals. Now, Trevor just like, here's another Trevor Troll with more pills for you to take. Oops, got dead. Sorry.
He just set her up. Like, let's be honest.
He was trying to, but it didn't work because his ass is dead.
Because he put that shit in there. and then called the nuns, and the nuns was about to find his dead body because that's what happens when you fuck around.
Exactly. I didn't think about it because I'm like, why are they doing inspections all of a sudden? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, he probably sat there and did call the nuns. It's probably a big ass school for them to go through and do inspections for each room. And she had just she hadn't made it to that room yet. I'm just glad that somebody came in and knocked his ass out before it happened. I will say that Lexi, I felt had a breakthrough because she Allison Lynn did her part in this episode because her guilt story was the fact that she feels that she's the reason her dad died. Her mom doesn't want to have anything to do with her. So she turns to these drugs and stuff like that. And then to find out that not only does her school bully know that she has drugs on her, but he also informed her that, yeah, your mom lost the election. And the fact that she found out from him instead of her own mother is devastating.
Yeah. I've always said I'm more mad at her mother than I'm mad at her.
Right. Because she is you kind of realize that she's the way she is because of her mom.
Yeah.
And that's devastating for a teenage girl to realize that their mom, who they're supposed to be close to at their age, is just like, I don't want to have anything to do with you. Girl, bye. I don't, just go away. And it's sad. And so you kind of understand why she went the way she went, but at the same time, when she dropped that pill down, because to me that was a stereotypical move for somebody who's on drugs. They dropped the last pill down the drain or down some type of thing where they can't reach it. But I felt that when Nadine came and spoke to her, she kind of had a breakthrough, like, I can do this. And then she went into their room and in a panic found them damn drugs. And it was like that little semblance of clarity for her just went out the window just that fast. So
that's addiction for you.
Yeah.
I think it's fascinating that Nadine's mom was a drug addict because she says that to the father before he's murdered in her confessional. Mm-hmm. And so I'm wondering if that's part of what is drawing her to Lexi.
Mm-hmm. Has to be.
Yeah, because you do get that weird, that interesting shot at the beginning of the episode when Lexi's clearly going through withdrawals because she's trying to like maintain what she had. She's trying to make it last or whatever. And they're all like Devin and Jake are just focused on Chucky, and like Nadine clearly goes to watch Lexi and watch her go through these withdrawals.
What Alma said. Oh, I should read it for people who don't watch these.
Right.
She needs a longer road to redemption. She has a lot more guilt and secrets and home shit to get through. And that bully thing, that's long lasting the people she tormented. That's why I can't fucks with her yet, because I get that she has the generic sad rich girl life that we've seen multiple times. But like, she started to GoFundMe and dress as a kid's dead dad. I can't just forgive.
Exactly. Sharai, I'm so glad you said that, because all last season when she was, becoming, likable, I was like still in episode 1 or 2, like, yo, you dressed up as my dad, my dead dad, and reenacted his death. That is some shit that I don't think I personally could never get over.
Listen, and she's never apologized. She was like, well, we all are in this together, so I'm family, but also I'm going to not talk to y'all because y'all are a couple, and I like feeling alienated because I'm a rich girl. And so I'm not fussing with her. I do love that she sneaks in all these drugs, and so, like, I would want to try and hang out with her, but I couldn't, because, again, like, that's sociopath behavior.
Sociopath.
Yeah, I mean, I think I agree. It's going to be a longer road, but I think she's trying. But you're right. I mean, I don't know.
I don't want to sound like I am being what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to sound problematic, because we don't do that. But do you think that by the three of them all having some sort of like sociopathic tendency, that's why they connect with each other? Because with Jake, it's his art. You know what I'm saying? His art was kind of like, to the outside world. I guess what I'm saying when I use that term sociopathic, that's to the outside world. But creatively and stuff like that, that's how he gets over his, trauma. He's through his art. And then you have Devin, who's a true crime fan, and he's like is deeply into true crime. And I know a lot of people as of late have kind of given the true crime junkies a little bit of a bad rap, especially with Dahmer coming out.
That shit.
And so it's like a lot of people are being looked at sideways, like, oh, you watch this shit, you like this shit and stuff like that, forgetting that they are sitting there binge watching Snapped on whatever that was, or
Right.
another 48, was it 48
48 hours?
48 hours, whatever this show's called, with the last 48 or the first 48, whatever that is. So, and then you have Lexi, who is just, I'm using this good girl look to just be this quintessential mean girl, but I'm going to take it to the extreme.
Mm-hmm.
Because no matter what I do, my mom's the mayor. I can get away with it, and there's nobody can stop me. So I'm thinking that's probably one of the reasons why they connect with each other, because all of them like probably have done some fucked up shit. It's just on different levels.
Mm-hmm.
So what did y'all think about that?
I completely agree. I mean, let's not forget Jake did try to kill her last season. Like he almost killed her. Like
I still think that would have been a good choice.
Mm-hmm.
But no,
I mean, he did though. Like it's kind of sociopathic.
Listen, and like also like again, he was abused for who knows how many years, because like we're assuming it started after his mom died, but like also when there's smoke, there's fire. So maybe it started, who knows, his whole life. And so of course when you're abused and you can't be yourself, you're gonna have like tendencies. And like she pushed him. She pushed him. I'm not gonna be victim blaming, but like she pushed him. And so when he sent that Chucky to her house, I was like, get it.
Yeah.
100%. And it's also abuse to be neglected. And I have a good sense that she's also been neglected her entire life.
Oh yes.
Her mom didn't give two shits about her. Her dad kind of did, but cared more about her mom than she did.
And the little girl, because her little sister is autistic, and so it's just the fact that all this attention is going to her. It's just like, okay, whatever you're doing right now, stop. We have to worry about her.
Yeah,
she's enough.
Scene. There's a scene in season 1. This is when I was like, okay, I'm seeing more of who Lexi is, and it's when her parents are sitting there with the 2 daughters, and they're just like, "Fuck you, Lexi, you're a piece of shit." And but we're here for her. We're here for her. We're going to help her, which is true. Your daughter has autism. That's true, but you have 2 daughters, and just to say that one's a piece of shit, I don't know.
I went back to see that scene after you said that in that recording last year, and it wasn't, because you made it sound like there's like, fuck you, bitch. And it was more like, she drew a great picture. Tell me she drew a great picture. And Lexi's like, I'm being moody. And they were like, and so it was a lot of family dynamics and eyes and size. Because like, I'm not trying to stick up for parents, because no. But like also,
but I mean, like,
you make that sound so much juicier than it is every time you talk about it.
Teenagers get moody though. And it's not just that one scene. It's literally every like part of how they interact with her. How many times have you seen her mother say, "You look nice, you look good, you did something good"? No, you never see that, because her mother is a piece of shit.
To be fair, she wasn't doing good things last season. She was doing all the awful things.
That's true.
I mean, like in general, she did. I believe she did save her sister a couple times last season.
Oh yeah, she did.
She did care about her sister very clearly. She didn't do shitty things to Jake. 100,000%.
I think because she realizes that no matter what her sisters are innocent and all this. True enough, she has autism, but that makes her even more of an innocent because she doesn't know any better. And it's one thing for Jake or even to some extent Devin to fall off the cliff or whatever, but it's just like, that's my sister, that's my blood, that's my family. And she probably knows that her mom is only doing all that to keep face, because if it was up to her mom, both of them would probably be gone somewhere. Because I believe Lexi's sister would have been at this school with her if it wouldn't look bad on her mom's mayoral look.
Her mom is the quintessential white woman influencer. She props up her daughter with autism because she has autism, not because of that she needs her help. Because she has it looks better because she has a daughter with autism. That's why. I think that's the reason why that scene bothers me so much, is because she's not doing it out of genuine need to like help her daughter with autism. She's just like, look how beautiful my daughter with autism is. Mm-hmm. Oh, that one, don't worry about her. My daughter with autism is here, and it's just like, I don't like all that. That missed me.
And two other examples is when last year when she did come and take up for Lexi at the schoolhouse, and she was mostly throwing around her weight as the mayor. You are a biology teacher. You need to know your place. I'm the mayor of the city. You know what I'm saying? I do what I want to do here, and my daughter, because what she does and what you expect her to do is a reflection on me. So you're not about to fuck up my damn chances of re-election. And then the first episode of this season, when they was interviewing her and they was talking to Lexi, and they was, was like, yeah, don't mind what Lexi says. She's blah 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 blah. Because we know her boyfriend was the one who's allegedly did all this shit. But then as soon as the dude started asking the little sister, hey, I forgot her name. Did you say the doll?
Caroline.
Was it Caroline? Sure. What'd you say about the doll killing people? And she's like, this interview's over, because it was like, you're not gonna fuck with my only good card I have left. You know what I'm saying? It's Barbara Lind, seeing her go from, because I don't remember her from One Tree Hill. That's the first time I saw her. She was the good mom on One Tree Hill, even though her husband and her son were assholes. But then she went to here. It's like she just adapted all of the traits that her son and husband on One Tree Hill did, and just like,
she has range.
She has range. You know what I'm saying? Oh my god!
But I am here. I do think that Lexi does have a longer road to go on. She's not there yet, but I'm still, I'm on the train with her. I hope that it continues, but we'll see.
I've seen too many empty statements from theaters and companies. So I'm like, I need actionable items. When she apologizes and goes, here's how I'm going to prevent myself from being an awful person in the future. Actionable items. Then I can be like, maybe. But right now, she's just like, I'm still the victim too. Hold me. And I'm like, no.
Right. No, you're right, Sharai, because I always tell people, you can say whatever you want to say, but until your actions line up with your words, I have to keep you at a distance.
Listen.
So
I can say I'm on a diet. I've not seen a carrot in months. That don't mean I'm on a diet. It means I said I'm on a diet. What am I doing? What are my actionable items?
Well, we shall see. The season is young-ish. We're almost halfway there. The season is almost a teenager. Or I guess in the lifespan of an adult, I guess this season's like a 30-year-old. That's weird. Anyway, we'll move on along. Tops and bottoms. Mark, what's your top and your bottom?
My top was Uber Chucky, because when he knocked the fuck out of Trevor, I was like, and I said, did Chucky get like a... Go ahead.
That was like a scene from Cobra Kai. I was like, what the fuck is that?
Exactly. I was exactly, Trent. I was like, where the fuck did Chucky get this string from? I know I forget Andy's mom. I don't know if her name was Catherine Barclay, but I was like, she couldn't handle Chucky. She was like sitting there struggling with his ass. But I'm like, she is shook. She's scared. Like, this is something new to her. But when Trevor got flipped in midair and knocked across the room.
Chucky slapped the taste out of his mouth, literally. I saw it leave his mouth.
The behind the scenes stuff, you watch that actor, you watch that special effect happen. It's super cool.
Oh my god. I cannot watch this. I can't wait to see that, because I was like, he punched a hole in this man's chest.
Oh, and apparently that actor was walking around with that prosthetic on all day, being like, hey, can you scratch my back?
It was a great makeup effect. It was a great, setup. I love that. But I mentioned my bottom earlier, and that was no Tiffany, Glenn, or Glenda, because you sit there. We all of us know who was Tiffany, who was Glenn and Glenda at this point. But when they sat there and left it off at the end of the episode, it was like, I just want to see them. I just want to get but it's just like you saw the back of them. You're like, no, I want to see them.
Listen, no, like they put us on the edge of glory last week and then left us for a whole week. And I'm just like, no, I'm ready. I'm ready. And they're like, no, see you in 2 weeks. I'm like,
they're teasing you, Shay. They're edging you.
Life is too short. Give me.
Entirely too short.
Sharai, what's your top and bottom?
My top is Trevor's death. I call it the donut death. Very stylish. I like it. Lived for it. Um, and
Yeah.
my bottom was Lexi getting Good Chucky killed because how Good Chucky come back from this? Thanks, Lexi.
I pray that they just said they kidnapped him or something. That would be crazy if they just kidnapped him. But I think he's dead too. He can probably
Maybe
end
they
up
can
like
just brainwash all the Chuckies and make them all like, "Hi, we're Chucky."
Can you imagine a cuddly buff Chucky?
Hey, I mean, yeah, go to a bear bar. You'll see plenty of them.
You better speak, Trent. You better speak. That's my ass being just like, oh, you're so adorable. Like just scrubbing it, just like, oh. Like, oh God, you're so adorable. I'm sorry.
So my top is Chuck. I loved Chucky killing the priest and then pretending to be him and giving her what 480 Hail Marys or
400 Hail Marys.
and she like you literally see her doing them the whole rest. Hail Mary, full of grace, Lord be with for like the rest of the episode. I love that was great. And then my bottom, I know it has to be there, and I get it. I hate the conflict between Devin and Jake. I want them to be happy. But I get it. Dramatically, I get, it's the theater.
The fact that Jake wasn't like, let's kill this Chucky immediately made me second guess Jake. I was like, I mean, the plan worked.
Information.
Listen,
he hate. Yeah, he did. He really did. Because I was sitting there thinking the same thing. Sharai was like, brainwash,
right?
A supernaturally possessed doll.
Right?
Did it work though?
It worked.
It did this time. But it was white people shenanigans. It was white people shenanigans. And I was like, if y'all get Devin murdered by this doll y'all could have killed last week, I'm going to fight somebody.
I would have been sad.
If I was Devin, that Chucky doll would not have made it until he would, when Jake and Lexi and Nadine get back, he would have had a big ass knife in his chest. I killed your mom. Chook, chook. Chook.
Right. 100%.
You don't need the full doll to talk. You can just take the head if you really want to try and brainwash him. Why are we playing reindeer games? When he got out of the ropes to tie his shoe, I was like, ah! I was like, if y'all get my Devin killed with your white kid shenanigans, so help me.
I would sit there and go with a torch and a pitchfork all up at Sci-Fi Studios. Be like, yo, where's Dawn?
Where is he?
I'm gonna put on the good wig.
I need to talk to him.
I'm gonna put on the good wig and open up an email. Dear Mr. Mancini. Yeah, personally hurt me. Devin was too precious for your show.
Exactly. Dear Mr. Mancini.
What's this weird name, bitch? How did she get my email?
Exactly. I'd probably go as far as say, Dear Mr. Mancini, who the fuck do you think you are? Giving us a black gay kid icon, and then take him away second season. I smell it seems a little bit, I don't know. I'll just go off. I'll just do this like
yeah.
That's the part. I'd be like, I need to talk to your manager. Like, but yeah.
It didn't happen though. They're also alive, thankfully.
They lucked out because again, I need Jake to act like he knows. He's acting brand new. He's answering unknown phone calls.
Well, but hey, I'm wondering since Chucky literally protected. I say that he knew. He may not have. Whatever. Protected Lexi from getting those drugs found and killed Trevor. Maybe I don't know. That feels very protective to me.
Buff Chucky didn't give no shits about those drugs. Buff Chucky saw a kid and wanted to kill it.
Maybe he was just on. Yeah, he was roiding out. He was like, I need to kill someone.
No, like Buff Chucky don't get no shits. Because the only thing worse than Charles Lee Ray as Chucky is Charles Lee Ray as Chucky with muscles. Like we're gonna have
a And then on top of that, you have the Chuckster has a plan, and you little twerp are not about to interrupt my plan. You are bottom tier fuckery. I am the top fuckery. You know what I'm saying? Like I want my shit to go as planned, and you're not about to interrupt this, so I gotta take you out, bro. Maybe in another life we'd have been a little acolyte, but not today. You gotta go.
Listen, I'm excited to see Buff Chucky get loose, but I wish Good Chucky could live. But anyways, our tweet of the week comes from @How ZZZZ. That's 3 Z's on How. I don't know how to say that without ZZZZ. But @House tweeted, I can't deal. We have a brainwashed Chucky who's pretty adorable but creepy, and then a beefy Chucky who doesn't skip arm day. Laugh emojis. I love this show so much.
Screaming. When I saw that when you put it in there, I was like,
I'm telling you, the Village People, it's coming. Village People Chucky edition.
Can you imagine like a truck of Chuckies with muscles waiting to be deployed?
Folks will be, heads would roll. The theme song from last season, heads would roll. It would be just so like, y'all better play that track again. Because I would run. You know, seeing Chucky is one thing. Yeah, exactly. It's because, you know, people always sit and say, oh, I would punk kick Chucky. Try punk kicking that motherfucker right there. It's like, he'll sit there, catch your leg and break it.
Right? Now you ain't got no toes. You just get cute with Charles Lee Ray. Like, I don't want Chucky working out. I don't want it. If I saw that looking at me, I'd just be like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and sit down and take this one because like I'm tired.
Yeah, y'all hear it here first. Planet 10 Fitness. Y'all need to let all y'all Chuckies go. Don't be working out.
Because the one last thing about that, it was the fact that he made sure he wanted everybody to see his chest, his abs. Like, you see this? I will fuck you up.
How you get a 6-pack? How you get a 6-pack?
Right. Well, all right, y'all. That is our thoughts on the 3rd episode of Chucky Season 2, Hail Mary. Thank you so much. I'm drunk. Thank you so much, Mark, for joining us. I got tongue-tied in my own damn sentence.
Hey, it's good. I'm sitting here drinking too, and I'm feeling very nicely right now. So, hey, I get you. I get you.
Next up on Monday, we have our regular episode. We're covering Salem's Lot with Sean Brian Liang. So check it out.
Yay. That closes out our 70s moment and it eases us into our Halloween moment, which is going to be fun. Just going to say that right here, right now. But yeah, we'll see y'all next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Thoughts and prayers to the Black Nun and to Devin because like I am
Stressed.
All right, y'all. Again, thank you everyone for watching / listening, and thank you to Mark. And as always, make sure you stay fierce out there.
Bye.